Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or whenever you watch me right now. My name is Jay Luke, the owner and operator of the Passionates Network, where we amplify the voices, elevate the culture, and champion the musicians. Man, remember, you can get anything in our store. Once you get it in the car, you can get 30% off your purchase. All you got to do is type in HBCU band. Now, I know what you're thinking, man. It's been a while since we heard from you. It's been a while since we've seen an LBR. Man, your boy done messed up and had another baby, man. I done messed up and had another kid. So that's where I was. And I know that we were supposed to have a show yesterday, but we ended up having some technical difficulties and some situations. So we'll be back for next Wednesday. All right. So just giving you all the heads up. And so that show was going to be super dope, because I put the information out about people asking questions and so on and so forth. Ask any question that you want, and we got a lot of questions. So I had to comb through them and pull out some of the best ones. So if you still want to send your questions in for next week's show, you have the opportunity to do that. So I will go ahead and take the opportunity to do that. Remember, you can hit us up on our DMs and Instagram at the Passionates Network, or Real Talk That Talk, or you can email us at passionates1919@gmail.com. But I will say this, and this is what this whole, video is going to be about. So with this time that I took, I also took the availability and the time to start actually perusing through the comments, like, extensively. And one of the common themes, there's two common themes that I noticed. One, that apparently, I'm a hater. Two, that the Passionates Network is relatively a negative platform. So I want to actually break both of those two things down very quickly. First things first. Question for everybody watching right now. Question for the comment section. What exactly equals a hater? Does a hater mean that because I don't agree with your thought process or opinion, I'm automatically a hater? Is that what we look at as the definition or generalization of a hater? Does a hater mean that I genuinely dislike something and that makes me a hater? Or do we just all have our own subjective definitions? Here's the reason why I asked that question. The reason why I asked that question is because if I remember correctly, if somebody correct me if I'm wrong, there is at no point whenever, whether it's LBR, whether it's Talk That Talk, whether it's any of that stuff, have we as a complete network completely just disregarded or disrespected or just denied an organization or band program. As a matter of fact, even when it comes to Jackson, I am admitted repeatedly that I am a J5 fan. I want to still be honorary J5. We can make that happen. I'm still open to it. But I think everybody has repeatedly said that between this year and last year, that Jackson has been the top HBCU band, by far, by leaps and bounds. I think we've said that. Now that's just Jackson. There have been multiple shows where we have said that, through years and through some of the years that we've been on youth in the YouTube space, that Bethune has one of the best, cleanest sounding bands ever. We've also been openly objective, specifically me, by saying that even my own alma mater, the Spartan Legion, while I believe that they are one of the best drilling bands, I have also been open enough to say that I have never, I ain't gonna say never. Yeah, I'll say never. I am not necessarily the biggest fan of the Legion stand presence. And that's from the years that I marched to even now. And their stand presence has become a lot better than what it was when I marched. So I guess that means I'm a hater against my own program? No, I think I'm just subjective. But I don't think that we have truly defined what a hater is. Again, if it's subjective, all right, fine. But if we're just talking because I just don't agree, or I didn't say something, or, somebody from the network didn't say something that resonated with you, and now all of a sudden that makes them a hater. I don't know. But again, I think everything is obviously up to everybody's interpretation, but that also flips the conversation to the negativity of the network. Let me be very clear. The network is always going to shine a light on the positives and the negatives about what we do as a culture, as educators, as musicians, so on and so forth. Why? Because I'm an educator. I am someone who was in the classroom. I am someone who has built a band program. I am someone who has worked with drum corps. I am someone who has worked at the university level as well. And so when the network started from the perspective of a band director. And while as a band director, we notice all the beautiful things that happen in what we do, we also notice a lot of the negatives. Now, that does not mean that everything that we're going to do is going to be inherently negative. We're always going to, I'll break each one of them down. LBR is always going to be a news type program. That means that if someone sends me something, or if I see something that is major within what we do, I'm going to report on it. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to report on it. When I report on it, I'm going to give my opinion about it. I'm going to give my thoughts about it. And if I have anything that is backed up with facts, I'm also going to make sure that I say those things on there as well. But again, I'm only going to bring to the table information that was already out there, or from a credible source. And I'm always going to say, more often than not, that allegedly. So that's the first thing. Talk That Talk is always going to be an open platform discussion about what is going on in the culture. Whether it is marching band, whether it is concert band, whether it is education, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we're always going to make sure that we communicate and converse about it in an open form and a dialogue. And one thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to use ad hominem attacks. We're going to have meaningful conversations, yes. We are going to be able to state what we believe in our opinions, yes. We're going to try to do our best to back it up with the information that we have, yes. And then we're going to move forward from there. Third, Diary of a Lady Band Director is going to always be communicative information that is going to be coming from someone who is not only a woman, but a black woman within the classroom and within the space of music education. And she's going to always provide, and more often than not, provide factual evidence that's going to be able to substantiate her platform and her arguments. So if that makes us inherently negative, then on that regard, I guess we negative. But what I'm going to always continue to say is that what we are going to always do is we're going to shine a light on the positives of the culture. And we're going to also shine a light on some of the negative things. Because a lot of times, and I've said this on multiple platforms and multiple shows, multiple times. Too many times we talk about sweeping stuff under the rug. And when we sweep the stuff under the rug, the problems that we have never get solved. And it's not until we start talking about the problems and we start actually bringing up the problems and the issues to where things then start to get moving. So will we always bring up every single negative detail? Probably not, because we may miss some things, right? But the reality of the situation is that when the information is brought to us, we're going to look at it objectively and we're going to talk about it. If that makes us negative, I've seen a lot more negative stuff that has happened in this culture than what we do on this platform. I've seen people go into groups and talk down about people's mamas, daddies, uncles, and everything else. And that's one thing that we will never do. So if that makes us negative, all right. But y'all tell me y'all thoughts in the comment section, man. I want to hear what y'all got to say. What do you all constitute as being a hater? I want to hear all your thoughts. Also, what do you all do? I guess for those people who think we negative, I guess we just negative. But for those of you all who know how to define or can define what a hater is, I want to know all that stuff and stuff inside of the comment section. Also, don't forget, you can get 30% off your purchase of anything in our store. All you got to do is put it inside your card, type in HBCU band, and you can get 30% off, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you all later. Peace.